Two speakers, same credentials, one gets $25,000, the other gets $2,500. Same experience, same expertise, same topic. The only difference is one of them has an asset the other doesn't. And that asset isn't a better speaker reel or a fancier website. It's something 85% of working professional speakers carry, and most independent consultants and advisors have never built. Here's the thing, that 10-to-1 fee gap, it's not the most important part of this. The real problem is that the $2,500 speaker almost didn't get considered at all because the speaking invitation isn't awarded when you walk on stage. It's awarded months earlier when someone Googled your topic and your name either showed up or it didn't. 89% of event planners research speakers online before they ever make contact, which means most experts are failing an audition they don't even know is happening. But here's what nobody in the speaking world is telling you. The data behind how these decisions actually get made, it didn't come from the speaking industry. It came from one of the largest B2B buying studies ever conducted. And when you see what it reveals about how people choose who to hire, who to book, and who to trust, you'll understand why some consultants and advisors get invited to everything and others can't get a call back. It's the same mechanism driving both. Here's what Forrester found in their 2024 Buyer's Journey survey. They surveyed over 11,000 buyers worldwide. 92% of B2B buyers start the process with a vendor already in mind. 41% already have a single preferred choice before any formal evaluation begins. And in their 2025 update, 68% of buyers had a front runner at the very start. And that front runner won 80% of the time. Now, that research was about enterprise buying decisions, but the mechanism is identical in the speaking world. Event planners don't post a call for proposals and then objectively evaluate who's best. They've already decided who they want before they ever send the invitation. But here's the part most people aren't seeing. The speaking pipeline and your client pipeline run on the exact same infrastructure. The reason you're not getting speaking invitations is the same reason prospects aren't calling you. It's the same root cause. And once you understand that, everything changes. Here's why this matters to you. Whether a consultant, a coach, a financial advisor, or a speaker, if you're not visible when someone researches your topic, you don't exist. 89% of event planners vet speakers on social media and Google before they ever make contact. They're researching you at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. If your Google results are thin, no book, no framework, no proof of expertise, they move on to the next name. You just failed an audition you didn't know was happening. And here's what makes it worse. 70% of speaking business comes from referrals, which means the pipeline is invisible. You're either inside the loop or you're not. And if nobody's heard of you, nobody's referring you. I want to tell you about someone who felt this firsthand. A fee-only advisor I'll call Shauna. Runs her own practice in the Southeast, 11 years of experience, great client outcomes. She applied to speak at 3 industry conferences last year. All 3 rejected her. Same conferences invited a younger advisor with half her experience. Shauna couldn't figure out why. Keep that in mind. I want to share a framework with you that explains exactly what's happening. I call it the Invisible Audition. There are 3 parts to this. Part 1, the research phase. This is what happens before you ever know an opportunity exists. An event planner decides they need someone to speak about retirement planning for business owners, or AI's impact on advisory practices, or how to build a referral pipeline. They search LinkedIn, they ask colleagues, they look at Amazon. Whoever shows up with a book, a named methodology, a visible body of work, that person goes on the short list. If you're not findable at this stage, you're already eliminated. Part 2 is the risk filter. Event planners are spending $5,000 to $100,000 on a speaker. Their reputation is on the line. They need someone who feels safe to book. A published book is the single biggest risk reducer. It says this person organized their thinking, committed to a methodology, and put their name on it publicly. That's evidence. 85% of working professional speakers carry a published book. It's not a coincidence. It's the admission ticket. Part 3 is the invisible referral loop. Once you've spoken at one event, the referral engine kicks in. Other planners hear about you. Your name circulates. And Shauna's entire practice was built on this side of the divide. If you've never get past parts 1 and 2, the referral loop never starts. You're stuck on the outside, applying to calls for proposal, competing with hundreds of people, wondering why nothing lands. And when a conference organizer looks at 2 candidates with identical experience and asks, which one's the safer bet? What do you think they're really asking? They're asking, which one will make me look good for booking them? So what happened to Shauna? She found out the hard way. The younger advisor who got invited to all 3 of these conferences, he'd published a book 8 months earlier, 122 pages, nothing long, but it had a named framework for how business owners should think about succession planning. It was on Amazon. It was on his LinkedIn bio. When the conference organizers searched for speakers on that topic, his name was everywhere. Shauna's wasn't. So Shauna did something about it. She took her 11 years of client work, pulled out the methodology she'd been using with business owners for a decade, and built a book around it, named the process, and published it. Within 4 months, she got her first invitation, not from a proposal, from a planner who found the book on Amazon while searching for speakers. Her fee for that one engagement was $12,000. Same work, same clients, same expertise, different evidence. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The data shows that authors in the speaking world command 4 to 10 times higher fees than non-authors with the same credentials. One case study from Scribe Media documented a consultant who published a book specifically to grow his speaking career. His quote afterwards was that the speaking fees paid for the book 10 times over. Even Fortune 500 executives showed, his word, reverence for the book. And here's what the smart ones are realizing. This isn't just about speaking. This is about every opportunity that flows through the visibility filter. Speaking, referrals, media, partnerships, client acquisition, they all run on the same infrastructure. The Forrester data proves it. Buyers have a front runner before the process starts. Conference organizers have a front runner before the invitation goes out. Clients have a front runner before they start searching for help. The question is, are you that front runner? Or are you the one nobody's heard of? The consultants and advisors who are thriving right now have one thing in common. They build an asset that does the positioning for them before the conversation starts. Not more content, not more proposals, an asset that makes them the known authority in their space. Something a planner can find, a client can read, a colleague can recommend. The question most people have at this point is, okay, I get it, but how do I actually build that? How do I take a decade of expertise and organize it, turn it into something that shows up when someone Googles my topic? Something that makes a conference organizer say, this is the person we need. Because here's what I've learned. The people who get the invitations aren't necessarily better at what they do. They just have an asset that does the audition for them while they sleep. That's exactly what I walk through in the next video. It covers the extraction process we use to take what you already know and build a book around it in 90 days without you staring at a blank page. It also explains why we back the whole process with an ROI guarantee. Because for someone like Shauna, what that asset did for her speaking career and her practice is real. If you're on the outside of that invisible pipeline right now, that next video is the one you need. Watch it next.